That's always for sale. The experts tell us that the real money in real estate is in listing properties. That way you have an inventory that's always for sale. And if you do your listing right, you're going to get paid a commission through that listing agreement when that property sells. But you have to understand, there are 3 different types of listing agreements. And one of them guarantees you get paid no matter what. The other 2 don't. So let's go ahead and listen in on our agent as she explains the 3 different types of listing agreements with her potential client.
So now that we've discussed agency and gotten that taken care of, let's talk about the different types of representation agreements that are available.
Okay, but don't we just sign a contract and you get to work?
Well, it isn't quite that easy. There are a couple different ways that I can represent you, so let's talk about each of them and then you can choose the one that will work best for you.
Oh, okay.
So the first is called an exclusive right to sell listing, and this means that you hire me to act as your only representative to market and sell your home.
Oh, well, what if I found a buyer without your marketing efforts? Would I still owe you a commission?
If the exclusive right to sell agreement was in place and your home sells during that time, then yes, I would get the commission. It doesn't matter who finds the buyer in this case.
Well, why would I agree to that? I mean, what's the benefit to me?
That's a good question. A lot of people ask that. With the exclusive right to sell, I can spend my time and money to actively market your home. You want to sell it quickly and for an acceptable price.
Okay, well, what other types of agreements do you have?
Well, there's what is called an exclusive agency listing. This means I am acting as your exclusive agent, but you retain the right to sell your home without being bound to pay my commission. If you find a buyer, there'd be no commission. If a different agent found the buyer, they would get the commission.
Well, why wouldn't I choose that?
Well, you need to ask yourself, do you have the contacts needed to market the property? How much time and money do you really want to spend doing that when someone else could do it for you?
Oh, yeah, I certainly don't have that kind of marketing expertise. Thanks for explaining that.
Sure. Do you have any more questions for me?
You know, I do. My brother-in-law recently sold his house and he had an open listing. Do you know what that means?
Sure. In an open listing, you can hire as many brokers as you want to market and sell your property, and you would owe commission to the broker who found a buyer.
But what if I found a buyer? Would I still owe a commission to anyone?
You wouldn't, but consider with an open listing, you do not have any one broker dedicated to selling your property. And how would you know which one of those many really did find the buyer? You want to get your property in front of the largest audience, and I think with exclusive right to sell, you can do that.
Well, given everything you've said and what I know happened with my brother-in-law's sale, I think the exclusive right to sell is the way to go.
Great, let's get that paperwork started.
Listings where the real money is. Understand this though, in one of those situations, the exclusive right to sell, you get paid no matter who sells it. Generally regarded as the best type of listing for an agent, without a doubt. And the argument can be made it's the best type of listing for a homeowner, for a seller also, because it assures them that you're going to be working at all times and somebody is to sell their property. Exclusive agency, that's the situation where the homeowner may already have somebody in mind. In fact, they may want to sell it themselves to a brother, a sister, somebody else. And in fact, they might be in competition with you to see who sells it first, the owner or you. That's exclusive agency. And then finally, right, the Wild West, the open bonanza, they call the open listing. You may have seen these sometimes, and you may see these a little more in commercial real estate than residential. And you drive up in front of a property and you'll see 3 or 4 different real estate company signs out front. That's generally an open listing. And that means they're all competing to find a buyer, but they're not really working together. And they may be throwing marketing and advertising out there all over the place, or they may be doing nothing. So understand there's an exclusive right to sell, which is generally considered the strongest for not only the agent, but the homeowner. There's exclusive agency, if the owner has the capacity and willingness to compete with you. And then there's the open listing, where you are competing with everybody to sell the property first.